They give me a reason to live again. There is a reason I am here today, but there is no reason you lost your lives. You were called abusive names, deprived of rights to be humans, slayed because of who you were born. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I was young, I still needed you, but you were taken away from me too soon. If I had one wish, it would be seeing you again. Today we're strong men and women, even though you are not here to see. We're carrying on to make you feel proud out there, watching down at us. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I am a witness that if you and I come together as one, we can make sure genocide never happens again. History should be told and passed on to further generations. Let's all stand up and all sing out, never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. We are here as one nation. We say never again. We unite as human race. We say never again to genocide. Never again to genocide. Never again. We brought you flowers. We brought you flowers. The memories of yesterday can never be changed, but they give me a reason to live again. There is a reason I am here today, but there is no reason you lost your lives. You were called abusive names, deprived of rights to be humans, slayed because of who you were born. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again. Never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I was young, I still needed you, but you were taken away from me too soon. If I had one wish, seeing you again. Today we're strong men and women, even though you are not here to see. We're carrying on to make you feel proud out there, watching down at us. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again. Never again. Genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I am a witness that if you and I come together as one, we can make sure genocide never happens again. History should be told and passed on to further generations. Let's all stand up and all sing out, never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. We are here as one nation. We say never again. We unite as human race, we say never again to genocide. Never again to genocide. Never again.
Fellow Ambazonians, greetings to every one of you in the home front and in the diaspora and all over the world. Welcome again to Ambazonian State Radio and Television. Sorry that we were having some technical issues on Monday, and then we had to get our system to do some upgrades and everything Tuesday and Wednesday. And thank God we are here with the program, the awareness that we missed Monday. And so please, if you are sitting by your side and you have been waiting, please can you call your neighbor or share that link on your phone to invite somebody to join us in this program, the awareness, the carry forward program that was supposed to broadcast on Monday. And because of technical reason, we could not be on the air. And then we used yesterday and Tuesday to upgrade our system. And now we are back live on Ambazonian State Radio and Television. Greetings to every one of you in the home front. Greetings to all our state army and all other armies and the freedom fighters that are keeping the ground hot and that are making the ghost towns to be respected all over the national territory of Ambazonia. Greetings to you all. Welcome to Ambazonian State Radio and Television. Today, Thursday the 18th of September in the year of our Lord 2025. Your month of delivery, a month of bringing forth, your month of excelling and a month of travail. Whatever pregnancy you are carried from January, I come to tell you this is the month for you to travail and bring forth that baby, bring forth that vision, bring forth that dream, bring forth that, birth forth that miracle, birth forth whatever is it. That is why we are birthing forth the Ambazonian freedom by going knocking the doors of Capitol Hill to bring us to a place where Ambazonians must have their freedom. So this is a carriers month. This is a month, a prophetic month, a month to bring forth whatever you have been incubating in your womb, bring it forth. Before I bring our panelists into the studio, I want to just take on my monologue. I gave the monologue for Monday, even though we didn't have the program. So God had to give me another monologue for today. Last Monday we spoke something different. You can't give what you don't have. Today we're talking about the power of truth over lies. The power of truth over lies. The world is living in a kind of a system where lie looks like it's overruling the world. But like in the book of Genesis 3:1, it has always been that the devil is the devil that brought lies into the world. Satan is the one that brought lies into the world. And most often, lies will look like they are prevailing over truth. But often, down the line, you see truth will come and overshadow lies. Truth is like light, that no matter how darkness is in the room, by the time you bring the light, the darkness disappears. Many of our people are suffering because they have been able to now resolve to accept the lie of La Republic. Every one of Ambazonians that have decided to be on the side of compromise is because they have chosen to believe a lie. But the zealous and resilient Ambazonians who have refused to bend is because they have accepted to be on the side of truth. And so truth never lies. Once you tell a lie, you look another lie to always back the other lie you spoke about. But when you speak the truth, they can wake you up from sleep, you will still repeat the same truth. And so we come to call Ambazonians to know that no matter how we have lived in an elusive lie, we have lived in an illusion, a lie that was told to us that we were one Cameroon with La Republique du Cameroon, or we were one country with La Republique du Cameroon. Many of our forefathers defended that truth and died defending it. While some choose the path of compromise to accept that, yes, we are one country, La République du Cameroon. But you know what? No matter how you choose to accept the cheap lie of La République and accept that we are one country with them, it doesn't make it that we are one country. I was once discussing with some of my village boys while here in the States and they are back home. And some of them were like, you are too zealous about the Ambazonian quest. And I sat me quiet and said, well, God built me differently because I don't know how to accept a lie in the place of truth. And one of them gave an example that the other person just sat quiet. One of them said, my brother, don't blame our big brother. You cannot tell me that your compound that your father gave birth, you people were born in that compound. You have grown in that compound. Somebody can come and enter that compound and start saying it is his compound, then you are going to stay quiet. He said the ability for you to stay quiet is not because you do not know that that's your compound. Sometimes you stay quiet just because you want some kind of peace. But one day, one of your children will rise up to say, my father stay quiet and I will not stay quiet. This is the compound that my great-grandfather gave birth to us in, and we are part of this compound. That alone answered my point. I didn't have to debate with those my village boys. What am I trying to say? The fact that we have some compromised Ambazonians that have decided to lean on the side of La République to accept a lie that Ambazonia and La République were one country does not make it to become true. Truth is truth. That La République got their independence. It was voted in the United Nations. They got their independence 1st of January 1960 without Southern Cameroons. And Southern Cameroon's independence was voted 21st of April 1961 to be actualized or announced on the 1st of October 1961, which La République and France voted no for our independence. These are truths that can never be erased. And so anybody can sit back there, take blood money from La République, and try to convince our people that they should believe that lie. It will last but for a while. Truth will always prevail. That is why I had made a free analysis of this senseless war by La République on our people. And I told La République du Cameroon government and all the Ambazonians that are bathing and aiding with them in Yaoundé there, that you can compromise the field marshals of Lebi Alem and then lie that they have been killed. You can compromise the Grandpa of Bali and the rest. You can compromise the Okoros and the rest of Santa and all of these things. There is a generation that you will not know who they are. And that generation are those who were maybe 8 years at that time, they are now 16 now. Maybe 10 years at that time, they are now 22. Maybe 20, they were 15 years at that time, they are now 25. Maybe they were 12 years at that time, they are now 24, 23 years old. You will not be able to corrupt that generation. And that is why they are fighting for the truth. They saw their fathers and their great-grandfathers killed over a territory that does not belong to La République du Cameroon. History have come to teach us. The Ambazonian State Radio and Television broadcast the history of Ambazonia every day. Every child is being tutored on the truth. And no matter how you can corrupt some few, you cannot corrupt all. You can even corrupt a particular generation. You cannot corrupt the next generation. And so the earlier La République realized that sending their military to go and be dying in Southern Cameroons, and the earlier the La République parents, all these people in Yaoundé, Douala, and the rest, and all these Nordis, the earlier you discover and stop sending your children to La République military for them to take and send to go and die in Ambazonia or die in Southern Cameroons, the better for you. Because we stand on the truth and the truth will always prevail. We give our prayers to God. Father, if we have reason to enter La République territory to take it to be our own, then may we not succeed in this war. But if it is La Republique that rose up because of our mineral resources, because of our oil, and entered our territory and tried to assimilate us, in the words of their own President Paul Biya, then may they never succeed in the war. It can last for the next 30 years, you will never succeed. Did you people say Buea was already finished? Did you guys say FACO as a whole was finished? Where are we getting the surprises now in FACO? Why? Because a new breed, the corrupt breed that you people corrupted, have taken your money and gone. A new breed of Ambazonians have risen that you will not know who they are to corrupt them. And they will fight till Ambazonia is free. So the earlier you take your troops out of Ambazonia, the better for you, La Republique du Cameroon. Because lies will never overcome truth. Darkness will never overcome light. And we stand on the side of truth. We stand on the side of light to defend our territory, to defend the land that God gave us. That is why, dearly beloved, when you stand on the truth, you expose lies. When you stand on the side of truth, you stand on the side of freedom. When you stand on the side of truth, you expose the lies. Those Ambazonians who have decided to stay on the side of lies with La Republique du Cameroon, don't worry. Time will catch up with you people, because you will finally see that your lies will not prevail. The truth will prevail. Freedom must finally come, because truth have come to bring freedom. Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. So truth is God. Satan is lies. So who can you think will win in this battle? We, the people of Southern Cameroon, are the children of God, standing on the side of truth. The truth is God. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. We are standing on the side of truth. So you are fighting against Jesus. You are fighting against God. And who is that fighting? The lies. The devil was a liar from the beginning. Satan the liar. La Republique, Satan the liar. You will never suppress the truth. So it doesn't matter whether the whole Ambazonia rise up to accept the lies of La Republique du Cameroon, you will not be able to take the territory, because truth will fight you. Truth defends and protects his people. All restoration or all freedom fighters, or all whatever name are fighters called, the fighters call themselves in Southern Cameroon, all freedom fighters are there to defend the truth. That a diabolic, wicked president in the name of Paul Biya rose up and called war against the people of Southern Cameroon, and thought he was going to win them in a day, thought he was going to win them in 2 weeks, thought he was going to defeat them in 2 months, thought he was going to bring them down in 6 months, in 1 year. Now it is more than 8 years and counting. They have not been able to see the day of light. To tell you that lies can never overcome truth. Where is the Amazonian forces that have been fighting you for 8 years? If not that it is God that is fighting for us. Where is the Amazonian military? You don't see them. But they are a ghost that will deal with you by the time you come close to their territory. And so we are telling the people of French Cameroon, if you know the truth, it will set you free. Stop sending your children to come and die for a lie in Southern Cameroon, because they will keep dying, and God will allow them to keep dying, because until the day La Republique citizens all over Yaoundé and Douala, the parents of their children in the military will rise up and say, no more sending our children to Ambazonia to die. Then you will be standing on the side of truth. Without which your children will continue to die and continue to die, but truth will continue to prevail, because we are the people standing on the side of truth. Fellow Ambazonians, stand for truth. Truth brings freedom. Truth brings victory. And we are on that side of freedom. We are on that side of victory. And that victory is here to stay. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you have not yet told your neighbor that Ambazonia State Radio and Television is on the air, please call your neighbor and tell them. I am glad to have some of my panelists already in the studio. Paul Nilo, you are welcome. Madoti, you are welcome. And ladies before gentlemen, Madoti, can you start by greeting the people of Ambazonia? You are welcome to the program today. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Good to see you, Comrade Paul. We are at it again. Fellow
Yeah, thanks.
Ambazonians, I just want to greet you all. Ambazonians and at home, Ambazonians abroad, those who are refugees and those who are in the prisons. I greet you all and I bring good news to you that our future is bright, that soon we will be free. Do not despair. Do not give up hope. Hope is what holds us, and we are doing the right thing. So God will do his own part. Ambazonians, our God cannot fail us. That is for sure. That is a guarantee. I can tell you that. Our God cannot fail us. Truth cannot fail. Truth cannot bow to falsehood. So keep hope alive. We will discuss some more. We are looking forward. Over to you, Pastor Victor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma Dorothy. It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. And we are in for a great discussion today. Comrade Paul, can you greet the people from Amazonia? Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Victor. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, televiewers of Amazonia State Radio and Television. Once more, we couldn't make it on Monday, but hopefully today we are on air. I want to specially thank our technicians, Dr. Adey, Chairman Amos, and Chief Oben for their relentless fight to see that we are back on air today. Fellow Ambazonians, if there is one thing that will set us free is the truth. The truth which cannot be compromised. We mean the raw truth. We cannot leave La Republique because of constant lies. And then we want to operate and fight for our independence on the foundation of lies. It cannot go. It cannot go. We cannot be in a society where everybody thinks in one direction. The moment you want to come with an opposite view, you are termed, you are named, you are given all type of names. Our people did not die for those names. That is why I am relentless in standing for the truth. And the Bible says, and the truth shall set you free. On this platform, we try to go above manipulation and try to tell Ambazonians, focus on this, not on this. Because we think, look, I think on this platform, we are more of walking in the spirit than in the physical. So when we talk, we have searched the spirit. We have consulted with the Spirit of God before we come to this platform. And that is why you see so many actions are taking place. You can see the first visit in Capitol, you see the New York parade, and then you see the most important, the recent visit by the leadership of the Friends of Ambazonia to the Capitol with that wonderful meeting with names, not ghosts. We saw American senators talking to our people. That is the truth. Not emails and audios, not lies that somebody would give you an information that this date has been set for this. You go and call your people and you say, I have worked for this date, of which you were merely informed by somebody. You put no effort. So please, fellow Ambazonians, we are not here to castigate. We are not here to gossip. We are here to let you know the truth. So in the course of the program, much will be said. Thank you very much, Pastor Victor. We move.
Thank you, Comrade Paul. It's always a pleasure to have you. I know many more of our colleagues will be joining us in the studio as the program goes on. But we are going to kickstart this program today by, I think we will be appreciating our fellow brothers and sisters, friends of Ambazonia, like you heard Congress Paul saying, who were at the Capitol Hill again for the second time, this time for a very intimate closed door meetings. The other time was to go knock the doors. This time was a closed door meeting. And Paul, I can't even say this because, you know, it's tricky because sometimes, because I'm part of this delegation and I'm anchoring this program, it's very difficult to say some of the things that are going on. I have to be very careful not to say the hidden things, because what you see there is the glamour of what was done that you can see. But after that, there are other things that take place. We cannot show those ones because you will see from the video that will be played, the narrator then makes it clear. We saw, or in the meeting, we were there with over 4 or 5 senators, but which among them people we went and met personally after that? You know, so it's a very, very sensitive thing, you know, and somebody will say, you actually have some of the food, you go and meet with them, then you come and expose it here. So you know that which one did we talk what, you know. So at the end of the day, we have to bring these pictures out and bring these videos out to make you know Amazon is supposed to have hope that something is being done. And like you said earlier, it's better you don't say that you did anything than to be lying. And lying is what has been the top in the leadership of our Amazonian revolution for this while, and it's really hurting. It really hurts to know that somebody is not doing nothing, but he will take information and say, I did this, I did that. If the studio is ready, maybe we'll start with that before you guys can, I don't know if you want to ask us questions. I would have expected other panelists to be here to ask me and my Dorothy questions, but here we'll be just marketing. Studio, so if you are ready with that audio, we can get it. Thank you so much. Before we start commenting on that.
In the heart of the United States capital, Washington, D.C., a summit was held under the theme, Leadership in Terms of Crisis. Amongst the voices heard at this influential gathering were those of Friends of Ambazonia, an international advocacy organization standing for freedom, dignity, and self-determination. Represented by its CEO, Dr. Emmanuel Tita, Vice President Dorothy Ngwa, and Spiritual Advisor Reverend Dr. Victor, the delegation arrived with a singular mission to advocate for the suffering people of the former British Southern Cameroons, known today as Ambazonia. They came to raise their voices, not in protest, but in diplomacy, not in anger, but in prayer, not in silence, but in truth.
Everywhere we go, we carried our message. We're appealing for President Donald J. Trump to help stop the genocide in the former British Southern Cameroons.
Throughout the summit, Friends of Ambazonia leaders engaged with key U.S. lawmakers, including Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma, Representative April McLean Delany of Maryland, Representative Mark Harris of North Carolina, and Representative Michael Clouds of Texas. These moments of respectful engagement were not mere gestures. They were deliberate efforts to forge awareness, partnerships, and international support. Dr. Tita also met with Dr. Alveda King, daughter of civil rights legend Martin Luther King Jr., symbolically bridging past and present struggles for liberty. Veterans of the United States Armed Forces shared reflections from the battlefield, reminding all present that leadership is tested most during times of moral reckoning. For Friends of Ambazonia, this summit was not the end, but another step in an unrelenting diplomatic journey, a journey to end decades of colonization, restore dignity to a displaced people, and call for the rightful recognition of Ambazonia as an independent nation.
We really appreciate the work you're doing for us here up at the Hill. I mean, we pray you stay safe. That safety is our greatest priority. Thursday, September 11, 2025.
As Friends of Ambazonia appeal directly to President Donald J. Trump and to the conscience of the international community, the message is clear. Justice delayed is not justice denied. The summit concluded with a moment of prayer, a solemn petition for the leaders of the United States of America to act justly, lead boldly, and stand for freedom.
This day, amen, 9/11, 2025, amen, we're standing here at our nation's capital.
That, Lord, our differences should not divide us, but our differences should make us stronger.
That the forefathers of this nation knew when they formed this nation and they put their foundation on God, it was because America would be the role model, especially to the wars around the world and around Africa. That America will maintain justice and America will fight for the common man.
Amen.
And not allow corrupt leaders in Africa to be able to continue to be in power and humiliate and kill and leave their people in suffering conditions. Meanwhile, their nations are empowered with all resources. That America will stand up for the poor, America will stand up for righteousness, and that God will continue to empower this nation. Even as President J. Trump is in power now, it's our prayer that the Lord will continue to keep him, use him to bring justice around the world,
yes,
and especially to us, in the people of Southern Cameroon that have been suffering in a war for 9 years and counting now, under the humiliation of La Republique du Cameroon.
The people of Ambazonia have endured unthinkable pain. Over 2.5 million displaced, more than 75,000 lives lost, thousands of women and children violated, and a generation left in psychological trauma. Yet, their resolve remains unbroken. Friends of Ambazonia stands firm until the chains of colonization are shattered, until the voices of the oppressed are heard, until Ambazonia is free. Many global experts are encouraging support for such initiatives as the one led by Friends of Ambazonia, calling on Southern Cameroonians and other global supporters to replicate in their own capacity such actions or to directly support the efforts made by this international exemplary advocacy group. To find out more or support, go to www.friendsofambazonia.org.
Thank you, studio. Thank you for great work there. Yes, Comrade Paul, that was the visit you were talking about that we had to be invited to attend that leadership seminar in honor of 9/11. So it was a meet and greet. We didn't even bring pictures or anything from that meet and greet on Wednesday night. Then what you saw there was the face-to-face meeting on Thursday, the 11th of September last week, when we were in that meeting with these congressmen and women, and with all of those speakers that were some of the veterans of NBA, different sports in America that were there to talk to us. And as we spoke, we now had to decide who and who can we, meet for our issue, and we met those people that matter. And so at the end of it all, we were all standing there at the front of the Capitol. We did not, I think there's still many other videos that will come out, because there's a video that carried when we were doing a prayer at the Capitol Hill there, at the front there, laying our hands on the walls of the Capitol Hill. I'm doing a prayer. And so that video may come out. Even the interview that you saw there when I and Dr. Ta were holding that band, we were quite early at the Capitol, so we had to do that. That one has not even been broadcast because we said many things there that this clip just cut it off and just showed us just holding that band. There were things that we said there. I believe the full videos will still come out. But so far, so good. Fellow Ambazonians, the reason why we show these things is to let people know that you should not give up hope. Truth will always prevail over lies. And we are fighting for you, in spite how hard everything is to do, but we are doing our best, spending our time, spending our money, and everything. We're not coming to you to do fundraisers and everything, because the reason why we don't even come up for stuff like that is because our people have been burnt out in raising money. And when they raise the money, those who take the money don't even do what they're supposed to do. So we thought even we start coming out now, we'll be like, oh, they want to make money again. So we're sacrificing from our own pocket. I got a text this morning from somebody in Home Front. He said people are worried who is actually sponsoring Ambazonian State Radio and Television. I said, we are the ones sponsoring ourselves. Every month we contribute money to pay for it. Don't mind these lies that in the days of Anu, he told us that ABC was being paid with 8,000. Then these present people in ABC came and said it was 4,000. And I told him that we are paying ourselves is not that much. They've just been inflicting those prices. And we're paying ourselves. So these are some of the little things that we do to create confidence. But Comrade Paul or Madoroti, you were there, want to throw more light before Comrade Paul. If Comrade Paul has question now for you and I, maybe we'll turn the flip. We'll flip
No. Let me begin with the question. Let me begin with the questions.
Madoroti will answer before I come in. Yes.
Yeah, Madoroti, this seminar was all about crisis management. Now, what is the relation of this seminar to the Ambazonian struggle? How does it impact? How does that meeting, that particular seminar, how does it impact the Ambazonian struggle?
Thank you, Comrade Paul. Fellow Ambazonians, we are in the awareness phase of our struggle. So an opportunity came up, a meeting for leadership in commemoration of the 9/11. So we said we should go there. Because Ambazonians, as we are going out there, I would really like everybody to follow us in their minds, with their minds, so that we can learn from people. We can learn. We are soon going to have our own nation. When we go out there, come along with us in your mind to learn, see what you can learn. So this was organized by Alabaster House. And why is it relevant to Ambazonians' independence quest? It is relevant because we meet people. We meet people that we can then follow up after that. It is relevant because it broadens our mind. You know, we've been under La Republique for so long. We need to go out there and see how people are doing things. This is a lady, it started small. The organizer, the Alabaster House, it started small family meetings. Then the lady said that in her mind, she said, Congress people, their wives, their families, they need to be supported. Supported is not support financially. They need to come together, just to encourage them. They come together, they pray together. They say, how are you doing? They will call the Congress people, how are you doing? And then this year she thought in her mind that she can then bring business people to meet with Congress people so that they can learn from each other. So on the first day, we had a tailor, tailor that sews coats, beautiful. So he came there. There was a show, a fashion show. His women were going on the thing. We clapped, and then there was another business person there who sells strips. So what is the importance? The importance is that it is very important for society to come together and meet. They should interact. The Congress people, politicians should interact with business people. So these are the type of things that when I'm going out, not just for Ambazonians' independence, I'm trying to see how I can bring information that will enlighten Ambazonians, that they should broaden their minds. They should not only be thinking the way the Republic wants us to think. So it was a great outing, and we learned from leaders. The first night, we had a panelist of footballers. Those are leaders. Those are super, for us here, they are superpowers. I mean, not superpowers. They are, how can I call them? They are stars. So they've had challenges along the...
Let's say they are celebrities, yeah?
Yeah, good, celebrities, right, those are the words, yes. They have had challenges. Yes. So they narrated their story, how they went through those challenges. So it was very interesting. And then the second day, the highlights of the second day, we went through the Capitol. We made the Capitol tour. I don't know if you saw them. I never knew that the Capitol was like that. So it was interesting to see that that is the Capitol. So Ambazonians, you have seen, you start thinking in your mind, how is your own capital going to be? How is your own presidency going to be? How are you going to get involved to make sure that societies, they don't stay apart, they can have a common ground? From there now we had the meetings that they dispersed us into different groups headed by Congress people, as you saw. And then Aveta King came. So they all was only about leadership, because if leadership is good, it is good for the people. If the leadership, if they understand, if they have the good spirit, it is good for the people, it is good for the common man. So it is important that our leaders start having such open mind, not this one man thing. No, you know that leaders, they interact, they listen to the common man. This lady is not a PhD, is not a congressperson. She went up to them, invited them, that she has this burden that they should come together. And that is how we came together. And then the Capitol Hill, that is the seat of the power in the world. We met, we met one Iranian. He came there. He was burdened. So he came there. He told us, because they called us, some of us went into a room where he was, and he was saying that we should help him, join him in praying. Because Iran, that is Persia, we know in the Bible. He was pleading that even though if the king of Persia, if God wants to destroy the king of Persia, they should remember King Cyrus. King Cyrus was the one that approved for the Israelites to go back to Israel after they were in captivity in Babylon. It was King Cyrus. So he was saying that he was begging that we should pray so that let America, let Israel remember King Cyrus. Let Israel, let America remember King Cyrus. That there's something good between Iran and Israel. There is something good between Iran and Christians. So we prayed. He walked around the Capitol. He said it took him 2 hours to go around the Capitol 7 times. Why am I saying this? As I said, Ambazonians, I want to broaden our minds, see how things work in the world. So it was basically good for us. And as the commentator said, by the way, Ambazonians, the commentator is our own. Our communication department is coming up. So he did a good job taking the pictures and commenting. So we are asking that if other Ambazonians, you don't have to be America that is doing this. If other Ambazonians, you can form your own group, especially Ambazonians who are in the G7 countries, Italy, Canada, Japan, I don't know what the other ones are, Germany. If you can take our case to them, because if only one country of the G7 recognizes us, we are free. So it was really interesting and very good for Ambazonian cause for the reasons that I've just given. Over to you, Comrade Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much, Badoro, for that explicit answer. Pastor Victor, even though you throw another light on it, but I want to ask you this question, Pastor Victor. Yeah, we know all along we have always been doing silent diplomacy, hide diplomacy. Let us not show the enemy who we are talking to, where we are going to. For the past 8 years, why all of a sudden you start coming out to the public, showing who you are meeting? What are the implications of such outings?
Let me start with the question you asked, Matt Dorothy.
Yeah,
the relevance and the importance of Friends of Ambazonia being invited for this leadership seminar. The reason is because our lobbyist or our brother that is working with us at the level of the White House, at the level of the Congress. I'm saying this for a reason. At the level of the U.S. Senate, our brother that is working from those levels, they are there like our eyes. When they hear a meeting that can benefit us, because they already know our story, and they know that in this meeting, there will be key Congress people there that we can meet, they register us for that meeting and invite us to come over. And so this one was very key, because we, at the leadership of Friends of Ambazonia, we are dealing with a crisis country. Ambazonia, or the people of Southern Cameroon, are in a war that La République declared on them. And how to manage such a crisis is very key to the leadership. And that is why those leaders, those our four informants in these places, led us to, or register us for this conference, and we were invited to be there. Because we've learned that in leadership, it is not only when things are going well that you know a true leader. True leadership is known when things are not going well. It's like in a marriage. I tell people the reason why people make marital vows is because of the bad days that marriage will experience. If the marriage was going to be good throughout, there's no need for marital vows. The vows are there so that when you are going through difficult times, you remember and say, oh, because we pledged to one another that for better, for worse, we will stick by one another. And so you cannot be a true leader if you are not able to resolve crisis. If you are not able to resolve even crisis among members of your own government, tell me how you can resolve crisis in a nation. And this is the failure that we saw in our leadership in Ambazonia. When all the turmoil and people were banking on one another for one thing or the other, I, for one, took it to our president many times. Let's solve this thing. Let's solve this thing. As though it was something he himself loved to see it. In one of the meetings, he told me, I'm not a problem solver. I'm not here to be solving problems among members of government. Then how are you a leader? And so to link it up with the program we were invited for, we learned from some of these military generals. Some of them were military generals, some of them were, like you heard Madroti saying, stars of football, stars of basketball, stars in different sports of life that have dealt with crisis. And they lectured, and then after that, they brought the congressmen, and they were asking the same tough questions to the Congress people. How do you handle pressure as a congressman? As a congressman, not everybody in your state likes you. How do you deal with that? These are the tough questions that these people were answering, and that is the kind of meeting that we were part of it. And so it was such a blessing to be there. I don't want to repeat all what Madoti have said, but at the end, we now make our own connections, which was the purpose of being there, being blessed in that seminar, and also now making connections with those that matter, that can take us to where we need to go. So somebody may say, oh, we are listing Congressman James Lana, Michael Claude, and all of these people we are listening. Oh, why are we exposing? We know what we are doing. We are not fools here. If we are even have the guts to go and be looking for them, let them go and try. But what we are trying to say is that what we show you out here is not what is done hiddenly. And so after that meeting, we have meetings after meetings with those we know can be able to stand for us. And that is what that meeting was all about, and that's what that meeting stands for. Now, back to your question, Comrade Paul. In the past, from the time of, I don't want to just start the time of President Sako, even from the time of Yoktabe to Ayabacho to Akwanga to Anu and all these people, every one of them did their own best in their own way to do the kind of diplomacy that they did. Like I said in my monologue on Monday, we don't blame any of them for their limitations because they cannot give what they don't have. Ayoktabe even tried at the beginning. He met with some Congress people in and the city, and I think the mayor of Boston or something like that, the city mayor of Boston. At least he in a face-to-face interview, and he talked about our problem to the Boston people. It was all on TV in Boston and the rest. And a part of that, I didn't see any other person that has done this kind of thing we are doing now. And so what we are trying to say in line with your question, Comrade Paul, is that even when the Iraq-Iran war or Israel-Palestine, I grew up, even I think my first year of being into America were the last years of Clinton's rule. I remember when President Clinton had Yasser Arafat in Camp David for talks between Israel and Palestine. Then how do people expect that talks about Amazonia should not be done in the open? How do people expect that everything should be done in closed doors? Now, I said we once answered this question, and I said, many times when you do those closed door meetings, first, you don't let people know that anything is happening. Secondly, you don't motivate your people to make them know that you are doing anything. And thirdly, disadvantage is that you can be easily corrupted. And that's what has happened to most of the leadership, because they do all these backdoor things. When they know that they have met with ABC at the back door, they go and leak it like the public, and the public go behind and say, oh, hey, you know what? This is what we can do for you. Take this, take that. And the story ends there. Otherwise, where is Sakwanga? Otherwise, where is Sayaba? Otherwise, where are all this? Where is Anu, who rose up and said he was going to be the one to bring the firepower and all these things? Where are they? If they have not been corrupted, or if something did not go behind the back door, where are they? You know, so even to the position of our president right now, the lukewarmness I see in him, I can't even vouch for him. So some of these things need to be done openly so that people should know what you are doing. Yes. Thank you, Comrade Paul. I know there's much to say. Let me not take too much time on that one question. I don't know if.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Pastor Victor. What do you think will change after this meeting in relation to the way people look at the Friends of Ambazonia? What do you think will change? What will be the impact? Because, you know, sometimes they will parade as they first started with a word, Saksamoto diplomacy, picture diplomacy. Now that there's in a video, they see you in the company of senators, congressmen. What do you think will be the impact of such meetings? Because we know, we have always been used to silent diplomacy, but backdoor diplomacy. With this one now, you're bringing it to the light, to the limelight. Everybody is seeing it. What do you think will be the impact? And what message? Let's get this now. What message are you passing to the Ambazonia people? The question goes to the two of you.
Mado, to start, let me come and conclude with that because it's a very important question.
Okay. What Ambazonia should, in my opinion, if I see somebody doing something, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Because they say that action speaks louder than words. You can come and tell me every good thing, but if I'm not seeing some evidence, at least to some degree of evidence, it keeps me in suspense, and it is not, I don't like it. I would rather be where I see something is happening, even though I don't know all about it, but at least I can see something that shows that we are moving forward. We are moving forward. Because when we started coming out, we did not hide anything. At least the people in the village, when they see us, they know that something is going on. Something is going on. The struggle is not dead. La Republique has not silenced us. We know that something is going on. So it encourages people to be hopeful, So I think that going out there and doing this is good. And another lesson is that if other Ambazonians in the diaspora thought that open diplomacy was a bad thing, they have seen us. We have not compromised anything, no information that is going to compromise the struggle. You can do the same. People don't know about our struggle. The parliamentarians in your country don't know about our struggle. The president of your country, they don't know about our struggle. So do anything to bring awareness to what we are struggling for. So this is, I think, is important, and I think it should be a good lesson for Ambazonians to have. Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Mother
Komrepo.
Let me add to that. Komrepo, you took us a little bit memory lane in your question, even though you didn't emphasize so well that when we started, they said it was that time we did T-shirts and so on. But let me say that this journey has been, this is, I don't know how you call that name, Sakamoto. But this journey started when President Donald Trump won elections. And our brother, Dr. Tita, who is a very big supporter of the Republican Party in Florida, told us that, hey, we've given Democrat their term. We've not seen any results. Now that the Republicans have come into power, he is a strong Republican Party. He will be attending the inauguration. And he doesn't mind if anybody want to come with him. And I said, man, I will be coming. I'll be coming. And to be candid, Komrepo, going to the inauguration, we never knew what was going to happen. That's why this thing is God ordained indeed. Madoti will tell you the truth. When we went for the inauguration, the day, I think that was the Saturday before even the Sunday, before the Monday of the inauguration itself, there was a meeting that we had to meet Congressman Stewart, former Congressperson Stewart, in Dr. Tita's hotel. And we went there just to say, let's go meet and greet him and thank him for what he has been helping us to do. And while we are there, my God, God opened the door with the Woodruff Times. In the course of our discussion, they went and brought their cameras and conducted a live interview right there and there, which we were not even expecting. And we spoke and it went viral. Then inauguration came and passed. Dr. Tia was the only one who was opportune to enter the hall because he had a full ticket and everything. Then we were not able to enter the main hall for the inauguration and stuff. When we came back, because that is your reaction, that's your question. Your question is the reaction of the Ambazonian people. When we came back, they said, oh, they went for inauguration, that they were not even invited. They went for this. And then that time we started seeing some invitations that were coming out that the president was invited and stuff. Just like it was a joke, you know. Kind of after he has passed, then we saw those invitations. But we came and we settled down. And in one of the balls, which took place on Sunday, when we talk about a ball, it's a meeting with different stakeholders, congressmen, senators, politicians of different types on that Sunday before the Monday inauguration. That is where the key of everything started happening for us. When we went into that meeting, I was not even supposed to attend that meeting because I was supposed to be in our church that Sunday to preach. But because there was snow, our church canceled the service. I decided to go to the ball. And I got there almost 30 minutes to the closure. And then the keynote speaker was just introduced 10 minutes after I got in. And when the keynote speaker was introduced, he spoke so eloquently, spoke the Bible. I told my daughter, and then I said, I'm going to go take this guy's number. And that's where everything started. As I went and took that guy's number, we started communicating. That's where everything has taken us from that level to where it is. Then we went for the White House prayers. Then we went for the tour at the Capitol Hill with our former lobbyists and the rest. And then we came back. Now, for each of these journeys, the message we want to pass to the Ambazonian people, as Margaret have just said, is that know that we have not all been compromised, or we are not all silent. Some may decide to do silent diplomacy. And said, In fact, let me add here on report, because while my daughter was saying this, I got a reminder in my spirit that I should tell the Ambazonian people, we are not only doing this diplomacy that you are seeing us on camera, even the hidden one, report. We are writing to the United Nations. We are writing to different presidents of nations. We are writing letters. My daughter, if she can tell you how many letters she has mailed out. So we are not just doing this open one way. We are still doing the backdoor one. You see, and it is this open one, that the backdoor one, that leads the door to the open one. When you do the backdoor one, a time comes when they want to see you face to face. And that time you cannot hide it no more. You have to go there. And so that is why we do this. But to answer your question directly, the naysayers, I think they have finally come to a conclusion that we are not joking. Because from inauguration, they mock us, to the Capitol here, knocking of doors of congressmen and women. They mocked, and they say T-shirt, this and that, diplomacy. They went for the White House prayers. We came back, their mouth were quiet. We went to New York. They said, Some of them had the guts to say we went for a meeting, we're not invited. And I asked them, we went for a meeting, we're not invited. They were given the stage to speak. Then how come we're given the stage to speak on the meeting, we're not invited? How come we had a whole, how do you call it, a stroller, or that had everything about Amazonia in the queue of all those people that were there? You just gather your truck and your equipment into that queue without you being invited. So sometimes when they make those statements, you see how stupid they are, you don't even respond. And then I think, to answer your question, I think right now, if the people of Amazonia or some of the naysayers have not been taking us serious, I think from this last visit at the Capitol here, I believe that even the unbelievers that did not take us serious, they now are quiet. They know that this is no more a joke. They know that we are doing something for them. And that is why we are open. That's why I was saying last time, we are not going to blame anybody that cannot do more than what they know. This is what God is gracing us to do. So we are not going to come blast on you or talk down on you, because you cannot give what you don't have. That's all that anybody have had in them. This is what we have. This is what we are giving out. So we believe that the Amazonian people will queue behind us and push us in any way. Kongepo, you are the one who have always let them know that they can contribute. But in any way, we will not come here to cry like babies that give us money, or if you don't contribute, the tax is going to fail tomorrow. No, we're not going to do that, because God will always make provision. Those of you who have been contributing, we want to say thank you. Those of you who have been helping, but we are not going to come here and cry like babies and say, if you don't do this, the thing will go this and that and that. And you know how much money you could have already spent if it was your government doing all this round that we are doing. This is the 4th round of tour, or even if not mistaken, the 5th round of tour that we have made. And we pay our tickets out of our pocket, we pay our hotels, we pay our Ubers and all of those things out of our pocket. So I think the reason for all of this is to give hope to Amazonia, to know that we are working for them. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, and that one was, you're already ushering me to the next question. Thank you very much. You see, what you guys are doing is really, really expensive. It's expensive. It takes a lot. And from what I've been hearing from the other side, those naysayers who have nothing but to sabotage when they cannot do what you are doing. Now we really have to talk on the sponsorship of this project. The New York project, that one was hell of a money, yeah. The New York parade, the first trip to Washington, yeah, and then this second trip again, and then we hear of Woodrow time. Please, can you tell the Ambazonian people the source? Please, I want you to, like, I don't know as I can put it, but explain, because even this Ambazonian State Radio and Television, they still don't believe. Some minds have been corrupted to the point now it's La Republique sponsored. You know, they gave us 3 months. They gave us 6
Right.
months, or is it 3 months like that? They said after 3
2
months they
months.
will shut down. There will be nobody there. It will be too expensive to run, and yet we are still running. So when they see that we are still up and running, now it is La Republique that is sponsoring us. So please, these trips that you people are taking, going to Washington first, second, and then, can you tell the Ambazonian the source of this wealth?
My daughter, you go ahead. You're the treasurer or the whatever, I don't know.
No, just as Pastor Victor has said now, it's out of our pockets. See, you sacrifice based on what you believe in. I came into this struggle because of the injustice on my own people. I will not mind taking a loan just to make sure that this thing succeeds. It depends on how you feel about it. If you don't feel, if it is no, because you are comfortable, you don't see anything, you don't see why you have to go an extra mile for other people, then you will not give. But if you are like some of us who don't sleep because of what we see happening, you will go to any length to sponsor yourself.
Yeah, Comrade Paul, just to add to what Madoti have said, it's out of free will. You yourself, you know how we raise this money. Let me talk about the one that we pay the Ambazonian State Radio and Television. Like I said earlier, all the thieves that we have dealt with have always inflicted the price of how they pay this television. This television is not that costly the way they have been inflicting the price. And so at least 20, 30 people can pay this television without making a fundraiser. Just $100 can pay this television without making a fundraiser. And so that is how we are paying it. We will not tell you the price because sometimes when we tell you, you will take it now in another negative way. But that is how we sponsor this. It's not sponsored by La Republique. It would be crazy to think that La Republique will be sponsoring people like us that are on their case every day. I don't know how that kind of, if you are the one, whether you allow, you'll be you'll be happy to sponsor such a person that is on your case every day. You are in New York, you are shouting against La Republique. You are in Washington D.C., you are talking against them, their wickedness, their killing of our people. Who sponsor that kind of? Are you out of your mind? Where does La Republique got such money to sponsor that kind of a person? And so for the trips, like Madoti have said, it's all been out of personal sacrifice. It's all been out of personal sacrifices that we do, that we sacrifice. Every year, I used to drop $1,000 to the revolution, even though one of my trips cost me almost more than $1,000. So if you want to count it, just make it down to $2,000. You will say I've already contributed $5,000 this year to the revolution, because each trip, to buying of ticket, to stay in the hotel, to feeding, to pay your taxi or Uber around and coming back is always $1,000 plus that I spend. And so you take that, I've spent close to $5,000 already in the revolution this year. And so we do these sacrifices not because we have so much money, but because the Lord has provided, and we are doing this for our people. For our people. And all of these, I heard some people saying out there, oh, they should just make Pastor Victor president and whatever vice president and Dr. Tia president. We are not there for those nonsense. You see, you think all what we are fighting is about president? We're fighting for a free generation, a generation of, you don't know how many children I'm sponsoring. Sitting here like this, as school is starting, how they are calling me from everywhere back home to sponsor them. You don't know how many people I'm feeding. And so we want people to come to a place where they have their freedom. Intelligent children, when they qualify for a job, they get those jobs. Ambazonia will provide jobs for its people to a way that nobody will need to travel abroad. Ambazonia will become the next, what? South Africa, or let me even say what? In the days of our brother who was killed in the north, Libya. And Ambazonia will be the next Libya that nobody Have you ever seen a Libyan anywhere in the world that I'm a Libyan coming to seek for better pasture in America? You never used to. It may be now that they kill Gaddafi, but in those days you never used to see a Libyan out anywhere. That is what we are fighting for. A country that can give its own people. Ambazonians, listen to me. All these things, I know we're going to cover it under politics. Maybe, I don't know what I'm going to change to the lockdown so that we talk about that after this. But we are looking for a nation where our people will have free education, free electricity, free education, hospital bills, good roads, free pipe-borne water. Look at what Traoré is doing to his country. You think he's having aid from any country? No. The resources are there in the hands of evil people. Ambazonia, we don't need nothing. When we go to knock at the doors of the Capitol Hill, we tell these congressmen we don't want anything from America. We just need America to give us peace. That's all. Because our country can feed itself and its neighbors. Even right now, Cameroon is feeding Gabon, feeding Equatorial Guinea with just the natural food that there's no. Do you know we don't have any body in Amazonia that does mass production of any agricultural product apart of our coffee and cocoa? Though we supply banana, we supply all this yam and all this cocoa, everything we supply to Equatorial Guinea is done by individual farmers. Talk less of the day when we are going to have cultivated farming being done at the mass level. What are you talking about? So this is the kind of country we envision. And that's why we are, I don't know, but this is what we are looking for our people. Not for myself, not for my children. I'm fine where I am. My children are going to be fine till tomorrow. As much as they love Ambazonia and they have composed about Ambazonia, they keep singing the song, Pobia, Let My People Go. They have never been to Ambazonia, but they will never need Ambazonia for anything. If they come there, they just come to see where their father come from. So let people let go this thing that they think that we are fighting because we want to become president in Ambazonia one day or do so. We are fighting for the freedom of our people so that the next generation of our people should live well and not be under this siege and humiliation from French Cameroon. Thank you so much, Comrade Paul. Sorry that I almost extend some of these things when you're answering, then other things that just come into your spirit. I want to say it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we'll leave that. We'll leave the. Please, I know that I had transferred host to you indirectly. Can we leave the visit for next Monday so that we finish them? We finish the talk of the visit next Monday with maybe the Dr. also being with us and stuff like that. Maybe we'll go into the next program that we have. I don't know. Is that okay with you, Comrade Paul?
No, no problem. You can take. No, you can take over the hosting for the continuation. I think the lockdown or whatsoever.
Okay, good. Wow. Yeah. Our next item we're going to talk on was also we're going to parade the pictures of Dr. Tita in Florida with Ambassador Arikana, and these are still moves towards diplomacy. That meeting came so impromptu, but Dr. Tita had to make his way there. I don't know if they still have those pictures. We just want to thank Dr. Tita for pushing out there and going there. And I love the message he was addressing to Ambassador Arikana. As much as we love the ambassador, there's one message that Dr. Tita was pushing out to her that I think she has not, I think she sees the big picture and she's not seeing that. And that was the message of not just preaching the idea of we being freed from the West, but also we being freed from dictators that are within Africa. And I think that message was very relevant. And I think it was an eye-opener to Arikana because I think she has so much talk about this thing about we being free from the Western power to the point that she forgot that we have dictators that are also humiliating our people, and the resources of our people cannot be used on our people because these dictators are still there put by the Western powers. You know, so I don't know if those pictures are there, they can display. If not, we'll move to the next program, which is the lockdown. Comrade, did you have anything to say about that? Omar Dorothy, anything to add to what you saw there, Dr. Tita Arikana?
Yeah, I just wanted.
Okay, Dr.
I just want to.
You can go.
Yeah, I want to really congratulate Dr. Tita for going there. I mean, it was short notice and he went there. And the point, because many critics are saying that we should not focus on Pan-Africanism, but on he did not go there because he was supporting Pan-Africanism. He went there to bring it to her attention that you are talking white man, black man, know that there are blacks who are colonizing other blacks. So he brought brought up our case to her, and she said she was going to look into it and she would try to contact him. So I think it was a good thing, and we know the status of Dr. Arikana. So Ambazonia now, she will look at, she will try to find out what is going on. So that is awareness still that way. It is not because we are fighting for Pan-Africanism, no, because I've heard that criticism. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Comment,
Dorothy, they say it's better to talk. When you have a problem, better talk than to sit quiet. When you complain that she's a Pan-Africanist, so does it mean that when she sees injustice where it is happening, she will not talk because she's Pan-Africanist? No, she will. What is important is she lending her voice, knowing, being aware. Let me tell you the problem with our struggle. It has been classified as the world's most abandoned crisis. It is the most abandoned crisis in the world. So it means whoever we are talking to, who is a public figure, who is a politician, matters a lot. You don't just sit in your house and somebody makes a step. You are hiding in your house, and for you to encourage that person who is making that step outside, you point a finger and say, she's Pan-Africanist. Is she the one that will stop our independence from happening? No. But she can lend her voice that you people are here talking. There is an injustice committed. Where? Can we look towards this direction? We have forgotten about these people. So at this moment, we need to talk to anybody. Dorothy, just like you said, there are so many parliamentarians, so many congressmen, so many deputies in the world who don't even know that there's a crisis going on in Amazonia. They don't.
Right.
So what matters now is stepping out, going out, which is very important. When in January, I made an audio challenging, compelling all members of the Sako government to go out and do outreach. They told me, now I am a black leg, I want to expose them, and this. I was called all type of names. And then, thank God that the Friends of Ambazonia stepped in and they stepped up. They did what I really want, that I've been craving, I've been crying for. You have the likes of, I'm sorry I have to call names here. You have the likes of Professor Ayin, the Woo and the what. They are all there. They are not ready to step out of their houses, but they sit in the comfort of their houses and they criticize. So every step now matters. It is very important. Outreach diplomacy. Let the world see that Ambazonians are going out, and then they will start asking questions. Who are these people? Why are they going out? Why are they doing this? And then our story will come to the limelight. Then you sit in your house, make audio and write letters. How does it help? It ends between you and the person that you are writing or talking to. So I think every step that the Friends of Ambazonia are doing, please, I will still continue to say kudos. Let us keep up. Let us step up. And why not the people of Europe? Why not us in Europe to step it up too? Which I think in the days ahead, I will be making surprise moves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Paul. Thank you, Matt Dorothy, for that addition to what Dr. Tita was doing. I also have a caller on the line that want to contribute towards that. Caller, please, can you give your contribution, please, towards that?
Good evening. fellow Amazonians, good evening, friends and sympathizers of the Southern Cameroon Amazonian cause. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I just want to say something about Pan-Africanism. The thing is that their quest for her independence, a total restoration of the 1961 stolen election independence is making a lot of people to be confused. Most especially now that Dr. Tita, that has been working very hard and going places to see that we can talk to people who can take our cases to many places. I've also listened to some of the criticisms where people say, oh, Dr. Tita, don't go meet up Dr. Arikana, oh, Dr. Arikana then for Pan-Africanism. Doesn't mean that he too has joined the other people. No, that is not the cause. Let me just come to the point. What is Pan-Africanism? Pan-Africanism is a movement. It's an ideology. It's a philosophy that emphasizes the common history, the destiny, and shared humanity of the people of African descent worldwide, aiming for their collective freedom, liberation, and unity against oppression and injustice. It seeks to foster self-determination, challenge racism and colonialism, and promote the political, economic, social, and cultural advancement of Africa and its diaspora. So anybody that has seen Dr. Tita talking with Dr. Arikana and begin to think otherwise, they should go and do their research and find out what Pan-Africanism. And if we can even remove what is Pan-Africanism, we can also just say what is Southern Cameroon, what are the Southern Cameroonians fighting for? You will see that they are fighting for their common destiny, their common history, their shared humanity as a people of Southern Cameroon. They are aiming for their freedom, their liberation, and unity against oppression and injustice. So Pan-Africanism is the bigger picture of what we Amazonians are standing and fighting for. And Pan-Africanism has not come to take away nations, to take away or divide African countries to become one big country. Pan-Africanism is there to make sure that every nation stands up to their rights, stand up against oppression and injustice, which is what, if Dr. I was not there, but I suppose seeing those pictures also, I could just read in my mind's eye what could have been going on, because what Dr. Arikana stands for, especially with the ADDI, is also what Amazonia is fighting for, which I believe Amazonia is that nation. As Comrade Paul said, the most neglected humanity crisis in this century that we are living in, the most neglected. That is what the refugee person in Norway said. The most neglected. Nobody is wanting to talk about it. So let nobody go and misinterpreting what they saw they saw Dr. Tita talking to Dr. Arikana. They want to turn the story around. No, this is my Rachel. I'm still taking my time. I'll be on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma Rachel. Thank you for that contribution. Before we go into our videos about the lockdown, let me also add here that Dr. Arikana is not against or is not for dictatorship in Africa. That is it. If she speaks against the West keeping dictators in power, means he's already also talking against those dictators. So it's the same thing, but from a higher level. If he talks about how France is living fat out of the resources of Africa, he's blaming those dictators in Africa that are abetting and helping France to do that. So I think his message just needs to go stronger and call these African leaders by name to let them know that this is not allowed. And like we are saying, like Mara just said, it is not that she wants Africa to become one big country. No. And Pan-Africanism does not say that Africa will become one big country one day. We will still have our independent countries, respect our independent boundaries, then still have our big Pan-Africanism umbrella agenda. So please, let's not miscrew this thing. Dr. Arikana has a good voice, and she can speak for us at different fronts. And I think Dr. Tita did well to remind her about the dictatorship that is happening in Africa, bedded by France or aided by the Western world. Thank you. Studio, if you are ready, we want to really focus now on the lockdown and talk extensively. First, we want to appreciate all the freedom fighters all over the national territory of Southern Cameroon who have seen that La Republic is about to go lie at the United Nations that there is peace, that La Republic is about to conduct a forced election, and they decided to put a lockdown. They decided to put a lockdown. No government put the lockdown. The Ambazonian freedom fighters put the lockdown. And we have called on the people of Ambazonia, respect the lockdown that the Ambazonian State Army and all the freedom fighters together have put. Don't wait for no government to give you instruction for lockdown because they don't have control over all these boys, please. So don't be deceived. If they say, stay home, stay home. Don't go and die. Studio, you can play those videos. Maybe the first one of that ABC so that we can talk about it.
Clear. What is ya? No clear here, no police, no police, no police, no clear here, no police. Hey, the last boy. Hey, the last boy. Hey, the last stay so.
See street for boy for Tuesday oh, na Tuesday that's so. Na road down for Moliko we go down for Untapped Malingo where you leave checkpoint in new road to back. For back limbe quarter, na that go down so for Untapped Malingo. Na that so no even fly. Man go really chop na her today. Man go chop na her. How man go do go and I go chop. Chai, massa.
Marathon.
Brazzaville Junction, that I did try to show Brazzaville Junction. The hangar that play for tomato, for watermelon and fruit, them they empty. The hospital runabout, Sam they empty. Rakan say shed and that empty. Few people just work at them up and down, but all sides they lock. If you're looking for this side for towards food market, where the mommy ever day, no nothing. You know they even for go towards Metaquata. Nothing all place and they even place of a plan except the lock. I'm say bad.
And for this side too, for Big Bingo for Bingo Baptist Hospital, as you see at the market that from Bingo, the only market where the whole now so for inside crisis, the only market for inside the whole Boyo Big Bingo. And that as a dry, visiting out that 2 mommy then they go farm. I mean, even a bike, you know, inside hospital that go up to nothing in the worker.
All right. Fellow Ambazonians, studio, I thought there was a video that we had which we had agreed for us to play, which was calling on, I don't know, there was a video that was calling on the people of Ambazonia, some mixed video. Wanted to correct that so that people know that they don't have to mix up things. Robert Paul, look like you are frozen there. If you are frozen, you can go out and come back in. We want to also say that as we talk on this issue of lockdown, our number is on the screen. If you feel like to contribute and call for anything that we have been talking concerning the Ambazonian Revolution here on the awareness program, please, you can always call that number and we'll put you on the air. Like you saw, Rachel just came up. But we want to say here...
And so still talking about lockdown, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, through its representative, General Hadnock, has firmly denied claims circulating on social media and other platforms that a lockdown will be enforced on September 9th to 17, 2025. According to the government, no such directive has been issued, and the announcement currently in circulation is both false and unauthorized. Officials have urged the public to remain calm and to disregard the lockdown's notice, which they describe as misinformation aimed at destabilizing communities and creating fear. The government emphasized that any official communication regarding security measures, including lockdowns, will be made through verified and recognized channels. In its clarification, the government also reiterated that the core policies of the Ambazonian movement remains unchanged. Contrary to narratives suggesting hostilities towards education, the government reaffirmed that it is not opposed to education but continues to prioritize the safety and protection of students, teachers, and parents across the Ambazonia. Now let's get the audio.
All the streets, towns, and cities of Ambazonia are ghosted. Coming up, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has not declared any nationwide lockdown as from 9 September through 17 September 2025. Again, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has not declared any nationwide lockdown as from 9 September to 17 September 2025. The government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia hereby informs national and international opinion that contrary to the information widely circulated in a video and in an audio on social media to the effect that there will be a nationwide lockdown as from September 9 through September 17, 2025, this government of the people, by the people, for the people of Ambazonia has not declared any such lockdown. Neither does the supposed lockdown meet our revolutionary and strategic objectives, nor does it find justification within the ambit of the hierarchical structure of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And consequently, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia enjoins all Amazonian state armed forces and citizens nationwide to disregard such an unwarranted announcement, and equally calls on all major generals, colonels, captains, commanders, and the Ambazonia State Armed Forces ASA nationwide to show proof of unflinching loyalty and fidelity by complying with the President's communique and ensuring maximum protection of the civilian population during this trying moment. It is also worthy of note that the policy of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia concerning education remains unchanged. We are not against education, yet we are at war with a savage regime.
No police, no clear, no police. they don't see where. Hey, they don't say so.
Thank you, studio. Thank you so much. To be candid, my Dorothy, Colonel Paul, Colonel Paul got frozen, they might be coming back. Why we wanted the Ambazonia State Radio and Television to play that clip from ABC is because this is common sense. And this is what we saw in the days of Ayaba and the Akwangas and the Cristianos. And one who talk some sense into the Ambazonian people. Let me tell you the truth. These kind of rhetorics from ABC are the things that send our people out to be killed by the Republic. Sometimes it's better to stay quiet when once the Ambazonian freedom fighters or state army have already declared a lockdown. You know you have one army. The same people came out and declared a lockdown. Then you, the government, come out and say you did not declare it. You are already saying that you are not in control of those boys anymore. Psychologically, you are announcing to the people that you do not have control over these boys. On the other hand, you are trying to let the boys know you are fighting with them. Ambazonians, the reason why we play this video is for you to know. Once Ambazonian freedom fighters, sometimes they have different names in different places, but we are glad that all our fighters have, all the fighters of Southern Cameroons have come to one now. All the fighters of Southern Cameroon, we are glad that they have come to one. Whether they are giving the name Unity, whether they are giving the name Freedom Fighter, whatever name they are giving, we have no concern, we have no hand on it, because that is what they decide to do down there. The good thing about this is that we don't have the distractions that we used to be in the days of Ayaba, that will go and send his own boys to go and be killing our people, killing our people in the name of saying that they did not do a lockdown. And so to hear this from the government spokesperson is indirectly trying to say our people should go out there. And you know, when those freedom fighters have put their lockdown, then you go against it, like the public forces kill you so that they will say it's them. So we look at this like a fault or some kind of a weakness from the part of the government. If at all they have not seen that, let them see it, that they don't fight against the Ambazonian freedom fighters. You don't bring a conflict within you and them. Because first of all, to tell the people that you have not declared lockdown is to say they should violate what those people, those freedom fighters have said, and go out and do their businesses. And when they go out, they are killed now. Will you take the blame? We saw some cars being burned and all the like. That is the way I see it. My daughter, I don't know how you see it, Paul. I don't know how you see it, but please, let's comment from that video before we even start appreciating those freedom fighters for maintaining the lockdown. What is your take, my Dorothy, from that video?
Well, from the video, all I can say is that Ambazonians, you are fools. You are not fools. You are on the ground. You know what works well for you. You know the pathway to freedom. And if you see that lockdown is what will make our freedom, go ahead and do it. Let no diaspora voice or representative of diaspora's voice set any confusion amongst you. For the past 7 to 8 years, you have suffered the most because of confusion from diaspora. I am so happy that when one of the fighters in FACO said that they have learned from mistakes in the past. I am believing that there's a new breed of fighters now that know what they want. They are the ones in the bushes, not those in diaspora. Do what will make you get out of the bushes into your own free land. Don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't let anybody tell you anything. especially something that is contrary to what you know is good for you. So I'm very happy to see that the fighters, they have the new breed of fighters, they have some sense of direction between just amongst them. They organize themselves. All I'm pleading is that you people should collaborate in good faith. Collaborate in good faith so that when the time comes, there should be no warlordism. That is what I'm praying. You people collaborate in good faith and know that you will win. You will be the law and order enforcers in Ambazonia. Start having the right spirit towards each other and towards the people. Over to you, Pastor Victor.
Thank you, Dorothy. One thing I picked from what you just said is the unity that you want them to cultivate. Yes, indeed, that unity is very important to all those freedom fighters. We are glad that you are not threatened by another fighter, like in the days where I will send his people to come and threaten you to say, oh, we didn't put lockdown, all of that. Now that you people have come together, I think it is the place of the government to rally behind you people, not to instant come and begin to fight with you people, because you people are mostly sponsoring yourself even down there and making action to happen by yourselves. And then for them to come now and say they didn't say any lockdown, okay, you didn't say any lockdown, but now who is carrying the shame? Did the same shame people like Yabana Kwanga used to carry in those days when they have put the lockdown, they come and say, we did not say. Then the lockdown is highly respected. Look at now, the lockdown is highly respected. Is that not devalidating the position of the government or of the president or whatever spokesperson? This is to say that whatever you are saying doesn't count here. We control here and we do what matters, and that's what Majority of Rallies put it. If you whatever you think will help get your freedom, do it. That is what you know. They are doing it not. Okay, Paul, let me say it before I call you up. From what I understood, La Republique was ready to take pictures of Ambazonia business going on as usual to the United Nations, and to tell the world that I have a caller here. But a caller, can you just hold on? Let me finish now. I'll take your call, please. Yeah, I see. What the message here was that they want the United Nations to know that La Republique should not carry unnecessary message to the United Nations to say that the country is running well, everything is going on well, because that's going to be a lie. And so they have locked down the territory. That is what the government should be happy to see that happen. Instead of standing with them, they're standing against. That's totally disorder. And then also, outside of the lockdown, they are saying they don't want no elections in Southern Cameroon because it is a different country. That's why they're locking down their territory. They're locking down their territory because Southern Cameroon is not French Cameroon. And they don't want no elections there. And the people of Southern Cameroon, we appreciate you when you hear the voice of your state army or your freedom fighters. You respect the voice of those people because you know they're the one defending you. You know that the public is not there for you. And that's why you are honoring it. So the lockdown was for the United Nations and for elections. You know, and then somebody will come and say there's no lockdown. Comrade Paul, you want me to take Comrade Mickey before you... hello, caller, are you still there?
Thank you for taking my call.
Be close to your phone. Let's hear you. Come close to your phone. Let's hear you clearly, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but come close to your phone.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to say something concerning this lockdown issue. But I want to say it in our normal language, the pidgin English, so that people back home should understand what is really going on in this issue of the lockdown. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Pastor Witomba. I go talk for pidgin where mommy and papa them and everybody back home will understand the which way to go on for this issue for the lockdown. So I've been very, very surprised for a disclaimer of this lockdown come from the federal government of Southern Cameroon. And will be broadcasted even for the ABC embassy when all the Southern Cameroon they pay for that team. I will come back to say something concerning this issue or this disclaimer. Before now, we see say this government, as I always talk, it don't be compromised and it be prepared for this struggle to big federation. Why I want our doctor, I bet I will give me time to explain what we will go on. So what I want us to this President Sako for Federal Republic of Bazunia, that the issue of being against the struggle with the time because he want to mark the name Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. And the question will be say, when you want to mark some, you may say, now you owner. When you ask the president, are you own Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia? How can be owned by everybody? Secondly, the constitution where Southern Cameroon will get to meet for what is 2020, then in place, to go ahead to change the constitution with some of the members of the cabinet, where they not let the Southern Cameroon way to go on. And when some other people get notice which way to go on, they call the appeal for that give them names. All some of you sort of get the name say the remnants of the complotter. Don't for make them they run away from struggle. Start me they do what they want to do with the struggle. Thirdly, come to APC website where it be controlled by 3 persons with the agreement of the constitution of the Southern Cameroon. He say he want control and he want. He want get everything he want. So that they push out any way not comply with which way he want to talk. Or which way one will do. It still be an issue between you and the chairman of Ngokuya when chairman more. Because this of say no. This will be controlled by 3 persons. And the president, you get the access to that key. Why don't control you want? To be an issue. We come again to ABC. This same ABC become broken. Ambazonia, all Ambazonia, the country. Everyone close down the ABC without the knowledge of Southern Cameroon, where they contribute to that key. The question will be that they should be there or do other things by itself. You can't reach a stage where NGO from Ngokuya, they kidnap, they arrest the 3-month-old baby and 2-month-old baby, all of them. The general, Supreme General of Ngokuya, Major General, the only people, they declare lockdown for the whole Ngokuya. In agreement with the other soldiers, they say they get for fight for this meeting, they will be released. The president and the commander-in-chief come out. He denounced the lockdown. Say the order not come from the commander-in-chief when and it is supposed to be announced by this top man for the federal government. And the question for David Bisney, how speaking them, not in Ambazonia, instead, the other media, for the foreign media, they talk about how Cameroon government is docking 3-month-old baby and 2-month baby to jail, and the federal government not give an hostile statement. That one will be like an eye-opener. It can't reach now. I just want some bright in the way to be open. Say this president not be advocate for this problem. Can't be now for this lockdown. Where the whole Amazon they agree, they Republic not going to take place in the country, and they don't want any country to take place in the country. They agreed a month before time. They declared a lockdown, and when it starts, the president come out again, talk say, let me declare the lockdown. To the extent for Senate for ABC, let me announce, you know, it may be the president say the lockdown. The question for you now say, the president you rule from your own power to the power of the people. If the people then, when they get to the struggle, talk say they want to put their lockdown, stop La Republic or make campaign for their country. And again, for sure, the United Nations found the way to call for New York, say election for La Republic, and they will be part of it. For lock down their country. President will come in one without consent for other parties. Talking like you in one also keep the lockdown. So I want to talk to it. If we don't be sometime all meeting for Washington, and for the Washington meeting, enough to give the agenda of the meeting agenda for any meeting.
Well,
but I be get intelligence way. La Republic is get on special meeting from Yaoundé for talk say they want all the ambassador leader to negotiate federation with them. And at the same time, if you call the meeting, so that you could, after you go collect all, get the grip of all this power, where you want to take up, will just go send the revolution for La Republic for federation. And proof will be say, after the meeting, instead of the president will put the outcome of the meeting for Southern Cameroon and Bazonia, we talk at Tibonite, when we agent for La Republic for federation.
Okay.
So now Southern Cameroon get for no say this president not out for this struggle again. Because that you know the day for places, and we the Southern Cameroon don't call it as the president. What did you call? We don't call the county when they know the fight. But for talk with them, we mobilize their fighters. So we active to their place. You don't say anything. The only time he was still president for camp for talk for people. Now when you can go camp for talk about draft. And the draft, you don't see juice on the draft. When they do draft, the draft do not for some fighter to the fight. After the draft, we need to see more fight. But from few countries like Burkina, like Bulu, like Mezam, and now Paco, and Dongabantu, where they fight. What about the rest of the country? When they talk about those fights, and we don't openly talk now. And you know, being for the struggle, because you want electoral campaign go for Southern Cameroon. We La Republic can go for United Nations to be in agreement with Southern Cameroon. Now, why that they do the campaign today, where they not interrupted? So I want to thank the fighters, the people them. When they obey this lockdown, for make sure say La Republic not take that propaganda for the United Nations. If they not be good with Southern Cameroon and Bazonia, they not allow them to do the campaign. They allow them to do the campaign. And now when campaign they obviously voted, they not get anything for both and for United Nations. So I want to take the opportunity for salute all the generals, all the fighters where they fight legitimately for this struggle, the genuine fighters and the civilians, all the mommy, papa, everybody to see the way they stay at home. But make sure say they not go out. And I want to urge them to say, civilians when I get for stay home. The stubborn people the way they go out, they get the result. Away not people some die, some be wounded, from the all sort of things. So if finally everybody respect until this vote can be ended.
Thank you. Thank you, Kwemeke. Thank you for taking that time to explain all of this to the Ambazonian people. God bless you, and we are always appreciative when you send out those audios to clarify the Ambazonian people of many things. Well, it's your observations, and we cannot validate it. We can't say yeah, we can't say no, but thank you so much for contributing, for everything you have said here. We appreciate you for that. Paul, you were going to comment concerning the lockdown and the purpose of it. What is your take? What concerning the video we saw from ABC? What do you think that video was doing when the fighters have put the lockdown? Paul, please.
Yeah, I will try really to be brief because I think we are.
Yes,
like,
we are over the top of the hour. We have just the next 10 minutes to round up. So
yeah, so when it comes to lockdown, it's a tradition every year that during this period, the United Nations is they are gathering, and we also have school resumption. And there are two things which I put a video out there to clarify. Let the world know that there's still problem in Ambazonia. Let the United Nations, let officials, when they bring the case of Cameroon and they say, what is the situation at now? Say, no, there are still lockdowns. Nothing is going on in Ambazonia. At least it strikes something in their head. And we also want to distort the system, the educational system. Not that we are against the children going to school, but we want to make La Republic understand that you will not give us a date. We, Ambazonians, we have our own date. Because normally they will tell you all over the national territory, school has been going on in the northwest, in the southwest, everything is okay, life has come back to normal. But when each time they want to make reference to Ambazonia, let them know that we are not following their school calendar. We are following our own calendar. So that is a distortion. Those are the two aspects. And we also want to keep our children safe. Stay back home during this period. It is very, very important and vital. Now, when I see hypocrites coming out with videos, there is no lockdown, that this year we want our children to go to school. So what happened last year? Are you afraid that if you say children should not go to school this year, it will implicate you? No, what you said 2 years ago, if it wants to implicate you, it will implicate you. This same government 2 years ago, they said that the students should not go to school. They imposed lockdown this same time, this same period, for the same reason. But just because fighters came out, it was not from them. Fighters came out because they have lost value. They have no connection on the ground again. I made an audio and I told them, when last did anybody do any action on the ground and mention Ambazonian State Army? Nowhere. You will not even hear for the past 6 months or 8 months. You will not hear anything like Ambazonian State Army, because these boys on the ground, they have understood that they need to come together under one umbrella as unity warriors to defend homeland, to stand for the people. So when you see no, there's no longer, they are just trying to make themselves relevant. They are no longer relevant. At the level of diplomacy, the friends of Ambazonia are working. They are doing it greatly. At the level of defense on the ground, the unity warriors, these are two groups that are not even related, but they are fighting the same fight. The friends of Ambazonia are not in connection with the unity warriors back home, but they are fighting at the level of diplomacy. They are fighting. And back home, the unity warriors said, let us gather together and defend motherland. So whoever came out with that audio, it was just to expose their irrelevance to the struggle, to let the world know that they have no place again. Their place is lighting their ring light, and then make useless noise that does not cross. Noise that does not cross, to where it's supposed to. So the relevant voices are talking. So let them sit quiet. If they want to do, the one challenge that I'm going to tell them, if you want to, 1st October is coming. If you want to demand any video from our people back home, you to show your own video of demonstrating in the diaspora. So there's not much to label. What this incident, what this episode has come out to expose is the irrelevance of the so-called government. It doesn't exist again. They are just there collecting their money. As I saw last time, they said diplomatic draft. Diplomatic draft, and you have never ever seen one person leaving the United States to even cross and come to Europe that they are coming for a visit, they are coming for this or that. No, but they make draft every day. Inside Europe, inside America, you lost your vice president. You cannot even leave your house to go there, but you are telling me. See, Pastor Victor, let us stop deceiving ourselves. They are irrelevant. Dr. Sako and his gang of thieves, they are irrelevant. This struggle does not owe them anything. They owe this struggle a lot. Let them continue on their cameras, talking and making the noise that the boys are doing it on the ground. And then the friends of Amazonia, they are making diplomatic exploit. And I think the face of the revolution has changed. AS, Amazonia State Radio and Television, is here to show everything that is happening. We broadcast everything. We talk Amazonia. We are not here to talk about China and Japan. So the face of the revolution has changed. In the level of communication, Amazonia State Radio and Television have taken over. The level of diplomacy, the friends of Amazonia have taken over in America. And back home, the Unity Warriors are rallying to see how they can make the final push. I think the face is clear. The new face, the new takeover. And I think results will soon be coming. Thank you, Pastor Victor.
Thank you, Congressman Paul. You said something there. Maybe I'm gonna say something on that on Monday, but I'm not gonna echo. You said something that caught my attention. That you are in America, you are vice president there, you cannot even go to the burial. It's quite a sad situation. When I think about that situation, it touches my heart a lot. But maybe it's a discussion for another day. But fellow Amazonians, we are not going to be able to finish everything we have on our agenda today. We have been here for the past 2 hours. I would like to just take the last words from Dorothy and from Congressman Paul, and then we'll shut down for the day. But it was good having you all in the studio. Dorothy, your last words, please.
Thank you, Pastor Victor. Fellow Amazonians, we have come to the end of the show for today, and we've talked a lot. We talked about reaching out, changing our mindset. We take you out along with us as we go out so that besides focusing on Amazonia, we learn. They said that he who prepares when time comes gets up very fast, sprints up very fast. So we hope that when we begin to broaden our mindset as we see how other people are doing things out there, when we have our home, when we have our free land, we will land softly and spring up quickly. Our transition will be the shortest in the history of countries that have their independence. We've talked a lot of things, but Amazonia, stay hopeful. That is all I can tell you. It is a sure thing that we'll have our country. That is a fact. We will have our country. Amazonia will be independent. As I always say, God did not create Amazonians to be second-class citizens for the rest of their lives. That is not God. That is not the God that we are serving. And as I told you about the Iranian case, that shows you that the answers belong in prayer. You have to pray. This is somebody from Iran. He believes in prayers. He came to the capital, went around the building 7 times and asked people to pray that God will show mercy on Iran, his nation. So let us pray and ask God to show Amazonia mercy. See you next time. Over to you, Pastor Victor.
Thank you, Dorothy. You just said something there that touches me. And I want to echo here that we heard about President Donald Trump having to sign a peace deal with the people of Rwanda and Congo. We met them. We met those very people at the corridors of the White House, of the Capitol Hill, the first time we went there. So this is no waste of time. Just like you have met that Iranian, that person crying that. But by the time you see tomorrow, something will be said. So Ambazonia, we are not wasting our time. The people we meet, we see things happening. And our own turn will also come, something will happen. Komepo, your last words, please, before we go for today.
Pastor Victor, it's better to go out and waste your time than to sit inside the house and do nothing. Yes. It's better I go out and I waste my time. I go out and talk to people than to sit inside my house and do nothing.
That's it.
What have we seen the Sako group doing all this while? It's only to play to criticize from one thing. When you people went out for the first this thing, they criticized. They gave it all type of names. But you people were advancing the struggle. You people were adding a drop of water to the ocean that we are fighting. They call lockdown. They are there talking against the lockdown. So you see that all that they sit and do is to criticize the good works that others are doing. But they sit on one spot, they cannot do anything. Look, let me tell you, Pastor Victor, anybody in his right senses, what happened during the death, the burial of Dr. Ati, Vice President Ati, that show that Dr. Sako and his group performed was already a bad faith, a show of bad faith that will make anybody who is reasonable to think and say those people are not for the independence of Amazonia. That you are in America, but somebody leaves Europe, fly to America to represent you in America where you are. So some not some people they are ahead. And you see, you want to tell me that you want to fight for the freedom of a country? Come on, man. When are we going to? When are we going to reason?
Yep.
They put lockdown. Since you don't have control over the lockdown, you sit and you call it is an unlawful lockdown. Who are you to call it unlawful? Pick your if it is unlawful, pick your own stick, leave America, go back home, and then you impose a lawful one. You sit, you light your camera, you spend all your time lighting only camera, making audio, writing letters. It ends there. We have never seen you go out to do anything. And you think, I mean, is it normal? And people sit and support? It means, see, we are worse than CPDN. We are worse than people who worship the picture of Pobia. If we can still, in this century, in this time, still look at somebody like that doing this nonsense, and we still appreciate, we call, hey, our president, our government.
Paul, you are tickling me to say some stuff here which I was trying
when
to
are we going to reason? When are we? They don't losing our brain or what? What have they mixed in the brain of some people? You see somebody just sits on the independence tray. He sits down, he imposes everything and think that this revolution belongs to him because we always say Sakoti Boya. Witchcraft.
Paul, let me carry there and say this that is bubbling in my spirit. Fellow Amazonians, what Paul is saying is very deep. If you, at this stage of trying to build a country, cannot tell me, Pastor Victor, on my face that you are wrong, cannot tell Dr. Sako that you are wrong, I bet you we are not yet ready for the country. You see what I talk about, truth and lies? When you see somebody is in lies, not doing the right thing, you cannot call him out. Then what's the difference with La Republic? Why are you blaming La Republic people? Why are you blaming Tanganyika? Why are you blaming Golangole and the rest? Because they know the truth that Pobia does not want us to enjoy the life that God made for us as Ambazonians. Yet they know that truth, and they sit there on the lies, and then you are blaming them. Then we are here with somebody that we know that this person is no more for the Ambazonian revolution. He is just there. Then you say nobody should say anything about him. Then you are not ready for a country because you are beginning to honor a man more than the very country you are trying to be. That is why Pobia can be in power again tomorrow, because the people have chosen to honor a man more than the laws of the country. And if we do not change from that attitude, we are not yet ready for a country, Ambazonians. We must tell you the truth here. If you cannot see me, look at me in my face and tell me that, Pastor Victor, this thing you are doing it wrong, correct it. In love. We are not saying this to go and bash somebody. But when we do in love, they call us names. If you are already paying, making somebody bigger than the country, you are not yet ready to get a country. Until Ambazonians will come to a place where they can tell anybody to their face, this thing you are doing is not correct, correct it. Then you will tell God that you are ready to get a country. This is the truth. Because all these things we are carrying somebody up and leaving the same country down. That's the same thing La Republic has been doing for the something years with La Republic president. And he's in power for 3 years because everybody is Pobia. The same scenario is happening to us. Nobody can correct Pobia. If you correct Pobia, you go to jail. Nobody can correct Sako. If you correct Sako, you are a coup plotter. I didn't want to get to this level. But please, Ambazonians, we have a heated program next week because we're going to be getting into some of these things so that we educate you people to know where we are going and how we are going to approach it. They correct President Donald Trump. People will call and say things. You hear me? Not this kind of email we are trying to be making somebody a god for us when they are in error. It started when they started refusing to do anything for World Refugee Day in Nigeria. That's the Republic agenda. When they tried to bring our refugees home, they could not. They went to the point of saying, don't organize any refugee day anymore. For 2 years now, has the government organized any refugee day? Is this something that the Friends of Amazonia have been doing for the 2 years now? Have you heard the government do anything? Because that's in the Republic agenda. Yet they will just sit quiet and they will be making audios here and there. You people will be there following them. Keep following them. You will follow them into federation tomorrow. But Amazonians, stand for your freedom because we have said no federation till tomorrow. No federation. We must get the Amazonian country. But your eyes must be open to see the things that are happening and be able to know whether somebody is still for you or not. Nobody is indispensable here. Well, fellow Ambazonians, we've come to the end of this program. We will leave you here. We'll continue from there next week. And thank you so much, Ma Dorothy. Thank you so much, Congress Paul, for always being there. We're expecting Dr. Tia today, Dr. Ellard, and the rest. Hopefully, we'll get them on Monday next week. So please stay tuned for another regular program of the awareness. We'll be back on the air on Monday for our regular program, 8 p.m. Amber time. Shalom unto you. Thank you, technical team. Thank you, Chairman Amos. Thank you, Chairman Amos, Dr. Ade, and also Chief Oben, who have always been there for us to get us on the air. God bless you all. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
Chairman Ben Muna's take on federation.
People who talk about democracy must understand that a federation is the best form of democracy. If they don't understand, they need to go back to school. It's the best form of democracy.
His call to the President of the Republic.
The president can say what he wants. He doesn't make it. He's not God. He doesn't make it. The president of this country better wake up to the real fact. This country was united by a purpose. It was not one and indivisible. It was united by the will of the people of the Southern Cameroon, not by the will of any other person.
What about the youths championing the cause?
The future is theirs. I'm 77. Mine is gone. I may die tomorrow. If they don't fight, our fathers will come from the graves to fight for them. They have the right to fight for it. The better fight, man. The better bloody fight. No liberty is gained by lying down and allowing people to work on you.
And the students held back at home?
Let them lose 1 year of school and get a better future. What are you talking about? Let them lose 2 years and get a better future.
What then happens to the future?
Come out of it. You have to listen to the Anglophones. There's a problem.
Now, the form of the state.
The form of the state. You know, in our questionnaire to Anglophones, we try to influence the Anglophone opinion, but we did not succeed. Therefore, it shows how deep the problem is...
When you say you tried to influence...
We tried to influence...
How?
Good question. When we said, what form of government do you think can solve this problem? Federation, for example. Decentralization, as we are trying to live it now. I think just about 4 or 5 people reacted out of 1,000. 69% of Anglophones said absolute, the word they used, many used was absolute separation. That is to say, cessation. What? Who was taken aback?
Cessation was not on the questionnaire. You had federalism and decentralization.
Yes.
And they ignored the two.
But then we said, have you any other proposition to make? We left it open. Have you other proposition? But many said in the questionnaire, acting on outside the questionnaire, said we should have proposed also a referendum. They said, no, a referendum is not a form of state, form of government.
And when you look at that reaction, what do you read within the lines? What would you conclude is the stand of?
We drew the conclusion. We drew the conclusion because we have a document now, the causes, the propositions of those who reacted to our questionnaire, about 1,000 people, and then our own, what we think. For those who reacted to our questionnaire, 69% are convinced that if we want to love each other, that is to say, if the Anglophones and Francophones want to live as brothers and sisters, absolute separation on the level of government, that is important.
And that is what sounds like a taboo.
Our position is that everything should be put on the table. There should be no taboo. That's our own position. But not that it is our own, not that we are saying that we should absolute separation, but we say whatever the opinion of some, let us listen to him. But
cessation should be on the table of discussion,
yes,
in the national dialogue.
Let them try to convince us. If they convince us, we should take it. If it's convincing. That is why I think personally.
Are you saying that if the people who are standing for cessation convincingly present their point of view, President Paul Biya should accept to separate Cameroon?
Of course.
Is it feasible?
It's possible, since it is human. It's not the law of God. We were not that. We were separate. Were we not? We were.
Do you think that separation is going to solve this problem? Personally, do you think that separation can solve this problem?
Of course.